bird is coming from this bird is coming from the cliff.
That one coming? Uh-huh.
It's going to spend its winter maybe around here, maybe a little farther south.
Oh, so
Because
awesome.
in the Midwest, they tend to stay where there's lots of snow. And here's just showing off right now. Gorgeous undersized bird plane called purple catches. Morning. Rough-legged hawk.
Rough-legged.
Yeah. Sorry, I was shouting out. I don't know if you guys heard me or not.
I saw it, but I thought I
Rough-legged hawk.
you.
White tail, thick black band on the outermost part of the tail. Block right there. Rough-legged hawk have that. No other raptor in North America is going to have that. So that's the rough-legged hawk, everyone.
Rough-legged hawk? Rough-legged
No
hawk.
other raptor in North America is going to have that.
I love the markings on it. We call those purple hawks.
Front, or like leading into the wing. See it right now.
So that's a really
Yeah, that's the big to look for. They can have varying amounts of a belly band. Like, see how it's got like this solid.
There's a red tail down below.
They winter around here and a little bit south of here. For the Midwest, because the birds that snow and the rest of the year, that's where they find it most.
Oh, that was cool. Must be a red tail. Where'd it go?
That's a juvenile bald eagle.
Look how like heavy the wings are.
Yeah.
By about a field of view to the right, getting farther right, just about to dip in the water, staying above the water, hugging the water. Coming this way pretty fast, just broke through below the water. Red tail, everyone. This one is an adult. It's getting trickier and trickier. If you look on the trailing edge of the wing as it's flying.
A typical boodio looks like. They have big, wide wings built for soaring. Red-tailed hawks are probably one of the most common hawks you'll see around Minnesota. These are what you'll see on light poles and telephone wires on the side of the highway. They sit up there and you'll see them watching the ditch, and they wait for mice to scurry by. So they largely eat small mammals, rabbits. That's something they'll catch. Red-tails like to hunt in sort of open fields that are near a woods. So they'll perch and then they kind of come out and they swoop and take up things that way. Some of the great identifying markers of red-tailed hawks here. You can see that this bird has sort of this dark band on the top here. This is called the patagium, and that's the patagial mark. And then they also have my fingers are probably kind of covering it up, a comma on the wrist. I'm probably sort of pointing at it. And you can see those in flight on these birds when they're soaring around. On the belly, this belly band. And then they have normally a very white and kind of open chest part of this bird. And you can see this bird is sort of focusing on one thing. That they have twice as many vertebrae in their neck as we do, so they're incredibly flexible. They can't turn their eyes within their head, so they need to have a flexible neck to be able to fully turn their head to look all the way around, since they can't just move their eyes side to side. And it also helps them focus on prey. So, anyone have any questions?
Is that bird going to be in captivity, or is that going to
Nope.
be let go? Or?
Nope, this bird is going to be let go in probably just a few minutes. It was banded at our banding station a few minutes ago, and you can kind of see it. It's banded right there. So that has a number that is specific to this individual bird. So if this bird is ever recaptured, we'll be able to look up when and where it was first caught with it, and you're able to release it and let it get on its way. And if the bird is ever recaught, we'll notify you of when and where it was captured. And Hawk Ridge is a nonprofit. We don't get any sort of government funding. We aren't affiliated with the university in any way. So things like adopts and memberships as well are really the way that we fund all of the research and education that we do here at Hawk Ridge. I do believe we have a list. Each day we sort of have a waiting list, trying as a intimidation thing. So it's like, look at me, I'm a big scary red tail. And when its mouth is open like that, you can see its tongue, and I can kind of bring this bird around. Yeah, it's gonna look at me now. Its tongue has sort of two little barbs pointing backwards, and it uses those to push food down its throat. And that's kind of how it pushes food back. You can also see there's sort of two openings in this bird with its mouth nice and wide. The first smaller hole just at the back of its tongue is the glottis, and so that's the opening to the trachea, so that's how it breathes. And then behind that is the opening to the esophagus. So that, red tails, he will bite me if I give him a chance. Red tails are just a little more, you can see he's got his hackles up back here. Red tails are just a little more calm than some of the other birds we might see. You know, if I gave him a chance, he would bite me. That's for sure.
I want to see the two holes in there.
Yeah, he'll open his mouth. You can see. So you can see the one at the base of the tail. Yeah, and the one sort of smaller one, and then back of his
So
throat.
the round one is the
Glottis that opens to the trachea, so that's where he breathes.
Swallowing is
Yep.
behind it.
Yep.
You're beautiful.
Yeah, and you can see the beautiful eyes. All right. Can't hurt you. He knows. Okay. So what you're gonna do to let this bird go is you're gonna kind of do like a granny shot when you're bowling. You're gonna go like this and give that bird a nice big lift and just let go, and he'll fly off. All right. Yep. So you can kind of hold it out a little bit, and then Eric here will count to 3, and on 3 you just throw him on up into the air.
1, 2, 3.
You got a lift.
Beautiful. Yeah. He's gonna kind of circle around here.
That was so cool.
Yeah, this one has a lot of weight.
Or just follow the eagle. Tony! 6, 7. Little wider wingspan. Here on the ridge right now. Did you? Yeah, he's 5 years old. Usually during their fourth month, because he's got a bad thing. Oftentimes the outermost part of the tail.
As many northern goshawks as we do. They're very secretive birds. They live in the woods, and they're very territorial. They're very fierce. So they don't really like to, I don't know, be around like a ton of people. They kind of hide in the woods. And so when you see them, it's really great. And there are people that come from all over the country. I know we have people from the East Coast here today, a lot of them wanting to see northern goshawks. And we do literally have people coming from around all over the world to see this bird that you're going to see right here. So this is the largest bird of a group of raptors that we call the accipiters. They're also the true hawks, to show you what that means. And they're the second silhouette on our board there. And so what you can see is they have short, rounded wings and a long tail, very long tail in proportion to their body. All of these features make them very agile, very maneuverable, because these birds eat other birds. They eat songbirds and smaller birds. Goshawks will even eat some hare and rabbit as well. So they need to be really fast to be able to catch those equally fast little birds. Very round wings. Yeah. So these are the largest of the accipiters. And we can tell that this is yeah, I know, you're noisy. Goshawks are very noisy. So if there are goshawks nesting near you, believe me, you know it, because they are very loud. So this is a hatchier bird, meaning that it's under a year old, and we can tell that by plumage. This bird is all sorts of brown, I know. It's all sorts of kind of brown and buff, and its front, yeah, okay, you're good. And it's also brown and vertical streaking on its chest. That's what let us know that this is a young bird. And also the color of its eye. Its eye is yellow. That eye will turn blood red as it gets into its second and third year. Second year it might be sort of like a pumpkin-y orange. And by third year it'll be blood red. Its plumage will also change as it gets older. These birds will turn very sort of contrasting gray and dark black. They'll get this kind of mask and lots of fleckily stone gray coloration to them. You can see this bird is also kind of locking on. They have twice as, I know, and now you're gonna start. This is what goshawks do. This one's being quiet. This is quiet for a goshawk, believe it or not. Another defining characteristic of goshawks is you can see it has where you think of like its eyebrow. That region's called the superciliary area or arch. And this bird has kind of these white streaks there. Goshawks always sort of have that white area that you can notice. This bird.
Showing off, aren't you?
Yeah. This bird is calling out not because it's in pain for any reason. It's trying to intimidate me. It's saying, I'm a big scary goshawk and you need to let me go right now. That's what that is.
We hear you.
Yeah. And you notice every time I go to talk, he'll start doing it. Yeah, that's kind of how it works.